simply a mistake? I want to get your thoughts on that. She put down that
a lot of people are very concerned with regard to South Africa, and that's really the purpose of the meeting, and we'll see how that turns out. But we have many people that feel they're being persecuted, and they're coming to the United States. So we take from many locations if we feel there's persecution or genocide going on. And we had a lot of people. I must tell you, Mr. President, we have had a tremendous number of people, especially since they've seen this. She's very bad for New York, but I really don't know too much about it, but I appreciate the question. Thank you very much. Generally, they're white farmers, and they're fleeing South Africa, and it's it's a very sad thing to see. But I hope we can have an explanation of that, because I know you don't want that. It's a kind of a different meeting. Normally we have meetings, we talk about trade, and we'll be talking about trade and other things. But that certainly will be a subject that comes up. Yeah.
What would it take for you to be convinced that there's no white genocide in South Africa?
Well, I can answer that for the President. It's for him. No, seriously.
I'd rather have him answer.
Yeah, I'd rather answer that. It will be.
Our President will respond to you.
Yeah,
Thank you, Mr. President.
It will take President Trump listening to the voices of South Africans, some of whom are his good friends, like those who are here. When we have talks between us on around a quiet table, it will take President Trump to listen to them. I'm not going to be repeating what I've been saying. I would say if there was Afrikaner farmer genocide, I can bet you these three gentlemen would not be here, including my Minister of Agriculture. He would not be with me.
One day, without farmers, there's no food on the plate. So we need the farmers to produce the food.
Farming, right? Excuse me, turn the lights down. Turn the lights down, and just put this on. It's right behind you. Johan.
There's nothing this parliament can do. With or without you, people are going to occupy land. We require no permission from you, from the president, from no one. We don't care. We can do whatever you want to do. Who are you to tell us whether we can occupy land or not? Do whatever you want to do. Who are you to tell us whether we can occupy land or not? Whatever you want to do, can withdraw my membership from this useless parliament. Honorable. Yes, honorable member.
Must never be scared to kill. A revolution demands that at some point
The issue of whether what he terms as genocide can be equated to the struggle. And of course it cannot, because there is just no genocide in South Africa. And of course it is an issue of how one looks at it. As they say sometimes, the shape of the mountain depends on which point or which direction you are looking at it. And in this case, we cannot equate what is alleged to be genocide to what we went through in the struggle, because people were killed because of the oppression that was taking place in our country. So you cannot equate that.
Commander-in-Chief and President was also surprised that the White House would convene a meeting that was said to be for diplomatic, trade, and economic mending processes would result into a gossip session about him and his abstention. But no credible or verifiable evidence was produced that there's a white genocide in South Africa. And there's been no plausible link between the singing of the song and the murder of any individual here in South Africa as well. So there's nothing that warrants us to abandon paying homage to a liberation struggle song.
In fact, the reality of violent crime in South Africa is that white South Africans are significantly less likely to be victims of violent crime. And that's true whether they live on farms or whether they live in cities or suburban areas. The modal victim of violent crime in South Africa is a Black person. And in fact, we can see this in any number of police statistics, both provided by the South African Police Service and international observers. So it's not widely accepted. It's not even widely accepted by the groups that have been most at the forefront of this campaign trying to get the attention of policymakers abroad. So groups like AfriForum, groups like the Urania movement have explicitly said they are not out here propagating a narrative of white genocide. When we see the white genocide talking point, it primarily comes from either paramilitary groups in South Africa or international activists. Most famously, probably, and most publicly, Elon Musk has been a major proponent of this, and we saw this in not only his own personal statements, but allegations that he manipulated the Grok algorithm to sort of foreground this narrative of white genocide, but it is not actually something that people in South Africa take seriously at all.
Tata.
There is no white genocide in South Africa, and I think there are sentiments from the public that Ramaphosa should have asserted that more clearly instead of trying to divert the conversation towards trade and investment and high crime levels. I think that Trump is focusing on white genocide because there are white South Africans in his ear claiming that this is going on when it is not going on. I think also we have to accept that Trump isn't a fan of any country outside of the United States of America, and any opportunity that he gets to make allegations or to slander those countries, he will use that as a way to assert his control as a president.
South Africa is a country on its own. I don't think we need to explain ourselves to USA, to US. Whatever they think about South Africa, he should have just let it be. We know where we stand. We, as South Africans, we know there's no white genocide. So for me, it was a pointless exercise.
I think it was a very much necessary meeting because there was a lot of fake information going out there, and there was no, even the communication from our government, our president was not coming through very well. So I think it's now even the whole world was watching this. So I think it's something that needed to happen. First time as his friend.